What's up guys, RGT85 here, and today we got a couple news stories that I want to go over because they're pretty interesting to me. The main story being a story that nobody is talking about on YouTube. I've only seen one website cover it as well, and it's actually a big deal. It's something that needs to be talked about and something that needs to be addressed, because if this is a standard going forward, it could be very problematic for the Nintendo Switch's online service. But first, we have two smaller stories that I do want to go over very briefly. I'm finally going to talk about Bowsette. It's a subject I didn't want to talk about, but something has happened to where I will actually talk about it now because it is kind of interesting in the grand scheme of things. And then the second story we're going to talk about is the upcoming tease for the Video Game Awards from Reggie, as far as a game that could be being displayed there that would absolutely break the internet. And then we will talk about the big story, the headline that nobody is talking about. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out the giveaway I'm doing as well because it's pretty damn crazy. And let's get into these stories.
Hey, RGT85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! Bowsette. How has this thing taken over the internet? Like, this is absolute madness. In case you've been living under a rock, I will briefly go over Bowsette because I guess you kind of need to know. So Bowsette was pretty much stemmed from the fact that in the new Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Switch video that was showcased, you have Toadette in the game, and Toadette can get a princess crown and turn into Peachette. So then people got kind of creative and were like, well, what other characters could there be in this realm of strangeness? And they came up with Bowsette. And Bowsette has been absolutely breaking the internet. People are cosplaying it. People are writing like erotic fan fictions about it. She was put into Super Mario 64 in a mod. And like, it's adult websites. People are searching for Bowsette. Like, it's certainly taken over the internet. Now, I am not big into OC characters and things like this, you know, anime style stuff like this. It's not my realm of expertise. It's not something that interests me, but I know a lot of people are into it and stuff like that. So that's cool. You know, do your thing. You're not hurting anyone, but it's definitely taken on a life of its own. And like, people are really interested in this Bowsette situation. But the only reason I'm talking about this is because in the recently released Art of Super Mario Odyssey book, there's actually a sort of nod to Bowsette. There is a character included in one of the comic strips that is a Peach/Bowser design. So it's almost like Bowsette is sort of canon in the Nintendo universe. And I didn't think I would ever say that. Obviously, there is no crown involved in this as well that turns Peach into Bowsette, but definitely the groundwork is there for this. So yeah, I guess Bowsette people, you kind of have a reason to keep going on. Obviously, Nintendo has thought about something like this. Nintendo has been notified about Bowsette, I'm sure, because Bowsette has been breaking the internet. So yeah, a really interesting story. Probably the only time I'm going to talk about Bowsette. But yes, Bowsette, is she canon? Kind of. The Video Game Awards 2018 are quickly coming up, and I'm not the biggest fan of the show. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I don't like suit and tie affairs when it comes to video games because I feel video games are sort of a very pure form of enjoyment, and they don't really need suit and tie, you know, sort of high-end events like this. But I understand that people do enjoy this sort of stuff. I just feel like they need to focus more on the games and the awards in the games rather than things like musical performances that nobody cares about. Although the Doom one in 2016 was absolutely freaking awesome, but most of the musical performances are a bit hit or miss in my opinion. But it looks like Nintendo could be potentially teasing a big announcement at the VGAs for 2018. Now, this isn't outside of what Nintendo has done before. Obviously, if you remember last year, there was a lot of stuff at the VGAs from Nintendo when it came to the Nintendo Switch. You had the Bayonetta 1 and 2 announcement that it was coming to the Nintendo Switch. That was a pretty big deal. That was revealed at the VGAs. And then, of course, they also teased Bayonetta 3. You also had the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC with the motorcycle that, once again, pretty much broke the internet. So a lot of people expect Nintendo to do things at the Video Game Awards. Obviously, Nintendo has a good working relationship with Jeff Keighley and his staff, so it's not outside the realm of possibility for something to happen. Well, Reggie posed for a picture with Jeff Keighley, and now everyone is talking about this picture because of the shirt that Reggie was wearing. What kind of shirt was Reggie wearing? A Metroid Prime shirt. And Metroid Prime has been very quiet. We haven't heard anything about Metroid Prime in 2018. We of course got the unveiling of it, sort of the tease for it at E3 2017, but it's a game that's been very, very quiet. And of course we've had things like the Metroid Prime HD collection be heavily rumored as something that's coming to the Nintendo Switch. So Bayonetta 1 and 2 were revealed for the Nintendo Switch, along with the tease for Bayonetta 3. Could it be within the realm of possibility that Metroid Prime Trilogy HD collection for the Nintendo Switch will be revealed at the Video Game Awards, and then of course a Metroid Prime 4 teaser trailer or something like that? I think it is, and it could be even something as crazy as like Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch releases tonight or something like that, because I honestly feel like this game is supposed to come out this year. It's been heavily rumored. It's something that makes sense because a lot of people probably haven't experienced the original trilogy of Metroid Prime games, and so I could definitely foresee that. If not, then definitely early spring for the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection, but there's definitely going to be some Metroid Prime stuff at the VGAs, and now I have to watch it, even though I don't really like the show and Jeff Keighley gets on my nerves, but hey, you roped me in, Jeff, you roped me in. Alright, and the big story, the final bit of news we have to talk about involves the Nintendo Switch's online service, and a big deal that's going on that nobody is talking about. Nobody on YouTube is talking about this. Only one website talked about this as well, and that website happened to be Nintendo Enthusiast, my old website. Good job, boys. Make sure you guys go check out NintendoEnthusiast.com if you enjoy reading Nintendo news and articles and stuff like that. They're doing great work over there. I miss you guys. Hope you all are doing well. But this story obviously has to do with the Nintendo Switch's online service. The Nintendo Switch online service has been doing pretty decent. Over 5 million people have downloaded the Nintendo Switch Online app for their phone, which shows that there's over 5 million people buying into Nintendo Switch's online service. Obviously, there's ups and downs with the service. I like the NES games online. I like the virtual console sort of style stuff. I like the cloud saves. There's some things I don't like, the voice chat app, although it does work decently, and it seems like they are improving upon it. Plus, there is that rumor that native voice chat was found in Nintendo Switch, and it could be coming very soon to sort of supersede this app. But this story is very interesting because I don't like this. This is actually a very serious thing and something that could be very detrimental to Nintendo Switch's online service and something that needs to be addressed. So a Twitter user who plays Lego Worlds basically went to play Lego Worlds and download some DLC that they did not have. And when they went to download this DLC, they were greeted with the following message: a Nintendo Switch online membership is required. See Nintendo eShop for more information. If you already have a Nintendo Switch online membership, restart the console from the power options and the power menu, hold the power button down for 3 seconds and try again. So wait a second, this person isn't trying to access online features of a game. They're simply trying to access DLC within the game. Something that you would go to the Nintendo Switch eShop and purchase a game. You don't need to have a Nintendo Switch Online account. The Nintendo Switch Online stuff is just for the added services, things like cloud saves, things like the NES Online, and of course, playing these games online. As far as downloading these games, you don't need a Nintendo Switch Online service, much like you don't need to have a PSN account or an Xbox Live account to download games. It's just to access online features. So this person was probably very upset, and they went and sent a customer support message to WB Games to see what was going on with this, and WB Games pretty much responded with the following: greetings, Paul. Thank you for contacting WB Games technical support. We understand any frustration or inconvenience this issue with trying to access this brick build may have caused you. After further investigation into this matter, it appears that due to recent policy changes per Nintendo requiring an online account to access this content is a proper function going forward. Unfortunately, we here at WB Games Technical Support do not have the ability to assist with this issue, as it is a policy instilled by Nintendo. However, we can recommend reaching out to support for any inquiries into this issue, and we will attach a link to get in touch with them. Again, we sincerely apologize that we could not be of any more assistance on this matter. So wait a freaking second here. Does this mean that Nintendo will be blocking DLC for games if you do not have a Nintendo Switch Online account? Because that would be one of the stupidest things I have ever heard in my life. You can't block things like DLC because someone does not have a Nintendo Switch Online account. Now, we haven't seen this with any first-party Nintendo games, and right now this is the only game that we are seeing this with. But this sets a very unhealthy precedent. Now, it could be a simple matter of he said, she said stuff. You know, Nintendo Nintendo says one thing, WB Games says another. But right there in the thing, it says that due to recent policy changes per Nintendo, requiring an online account to access this content is a proper function going forward. So does that mean that other games that get DLC, you will have to have a Nintendo Switch Online account in order to access this DLC? I understand the Nintendo Switch's online service is very cheap, and it's very cheap compared to the competition, but you still should not put DLC behind a paywall for certain games, because that would just drive your consumer base away from you. This is a very dangerous thing and something that Nintendo needs to address ASAP, because this is a big problem, folks. I think this is a pretty big deal, and it's a shame that not more people are talking about this. We need to raise awareness on the subject, because if Nintendo doesn't get feedback on things like this, they will never change. So if you have LEGO Worlds and you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online account, it looks like you can't access DLC, and that sets a very unhealthy precedent. Alright, and those are some stories I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said at the start, make sure you guys check out the giveaway I'm doing right now. I'm pretty crazy. I'm giving away a $100 eShop gift card because I love you guys for watching the content, subscribing to the channel, and supporting the channel. Let me know what you think of these stories down below, and as always, thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.